Alright, today I'm going to do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Lightsworn deck profile, and I'm only using cards from the Realm of Light structure decks. That's why I have this background here, and I only bought 3 of them, and that's all you need to make this, which is a little bit obvious, but a little bit needed to say, because some people just grab one of the structure deck at a time, but by all means go get 3 of these. It's a great deck to run. I've been testing out on Dual Network. It's been doing great for me. And Raiden has been the secondary MVP of this deck for me so far. His ability to mill out those 4 cards per turn has really helped me get through some duels. He's also a 4-star tuner. I only run 4 targets for him to go into Michael, but he's still a really good card for this deck because you abuse that graveyard, and 4 cards per turn is extremely good. And then we go on to our other tuner. We got the 3-star Minerva. Minerva's a great card. You can go into Michael with I think 10 targets I have in this deck. So it's extremely good. Her effect isn't quite as good as Raiden's, but you still do get to mill off 2 cards per turn if for whatever reason she's still out there at the end of a turn. But she's mostly just there to help me get into Michael really quick because her effect doesn't really affect my build that much. It's just the whole going into Michael deal. So that'll do it for our tuners there. Then we got the triple Judgment Dragon. JD is too good. You can mill him out, and I run 2 monster reincarnations just to make sure I can get him back to my hand to special summon him. You mill 1 or 2 out, you're probably gonna get the other one. There's no way you don't end up with one of these in your hand at some point in time, be it monster reincarnation, drawing into it. You can almost guarantee you'll see a Judgment Dragon before the end of the duel. This deck goes so fast. It goes fucking turbo mode. It makes it a little bit hard for your opponent to keep up sometimes. This deck right out the gate is really good. And yeah, Judgment Dragon's 1000 life point field nuke is great. You pay 1000, everything's gone except for him. So that's a 1000 for 3000 right there because of his attack. There's only a few cards that'll stop JD from going off after he nukes the field. Maybe a Gaga Gardna, which I don't think too many people main deck him unless they're running a Gaga deck for fun. Or maybe some crazy bastard out there has a Karibo. I mean, you never know. You'll see some crazy shit sometimes. But on to our next triple, we got the triple Wolf. Wolf is really good for this deck. You mill him off, you get to special summon him for free. Or there are some scenarios where you draw into him, which isn't the greatest, but you can get around it. That's why you play Monster Reincarnation in case you draw into a Wolf or a Necro Gardna. And Lumina's effect will help you get rid of something like that stuck in your hand. It's not hard to get rid of them. It's also not the worst thing ever, but it'll slow you down a little bit. Our next triple, we do the triple Lila. Lila helps get rid of back row, and with a deck like this you try not to worry about back row, but you have to worry about it a little bit. So in case you don't get JD out and you're just going based off of Michael, Lila's not bad to have. Clear the field of 1 magic or trap card at a time. It's not bad. Fuck the back row. It just, you never know what's going to be there. Our next triple, we do the triple Lumina. I like running Lumina at 3 because there's a good chance you'll mill them out, and then you may only have 1, you may not even get 1. I've had some games where I don't even end up with 1 of the monsters that I probably need, but that's how this deck works. It's also a target from Raiden to go into Michael, which Raiden needs targets just in case. His ability to go to 2100 attack is never a foolproof plan, so going into Michael is always a good thing. And then that's it for our triples. Then we got the double Raikou. Raikou is like a Lightsworn Man-Eater bug with the advantage of being able to mill out cards when he's flipped for you. So Raikou's just way too damn good for you to not run at least 1. I'd say 2 for sure. And then we got a bunch of the ones for the Lightsworns. We got a Celestia. I really wanted to run her at 2, but with how little magic and trap I run, I felt like I needed to run those. So I felt it was a little bit more necessary to run them than her. So that's why I run Celestia at 1. I do like it at 2. It's just sometimes at 1 you don't get it as much as you want, but its effect is still really good. The milling 4 and popping 2. Then we got the Gareth. Gareth's always nice in case you're having trouble drawing into something you need. So you mill out the 2 after another Lightsworn monster mills out, and then you get to draw 1 on top of that. So it's a draw engine, but you don't usually see Gareth. He's just kind of there for the extra name. Then we got the Aaron. I like her effect to attack a defense monster and shuffle it back in. That's really nice for the damage calculation. So it's a good card. I like using Aaron. It's a good face down monster, clearer, so it's good to run at least 1. It's the extra Lightsworn name too, so that never hurts to help get out JD. Then we run Jane. And Jane's nice. It can be a 21 beater when you have no other options. You just throw Jane out there. You can maybe clear out 1 card and then you get to mill. You might end up with a wolf or something. You never know. These Lightsworns can turn a match around in a second. It literally takes 1 duel for the Lightsworns to win, or 1 turn. Then our last one, we got Arcus. Arcus is nice if you think they have a card, or you know they have a card that's going to target. Throw Arcus out there. They can't target any Lightsworns. It's really nice to have just in case, but I've only used him a couple of times. He's not necessarily the biggest deal in this deck. And then for our last light monster, we have the Honest, because all but 3 monsters in this deck are light, so you never know when you'll need that extra little push, or maybe even an end game if you don't get out JD or Michael. And then for our last monsters, we play the triple Necrogardna, because if you mill these out, your deck's not dead. This is going to help further your cause if you mill these out, or even you can monster reincarnation them, and if your opponent's got something that'll maybe get over Michael, banish the Necrogardna. Next turn you can use Michael's effect, pay 1,000, banish their monster. It's a really nice card to have in here. It saves you more often than it won't. And then we're on to the spells now. So I run the double Lightsworn Sanctuary. And I was for a while trying the double Realm of Light because it gives the attack boost. But I like Sanctuary because for every card you mill out, you get that shine counter. 2 shine counters save a Lightsworn monster, which unfortunately doesn't include JD, but it does include Michael. So protecting Michael will help get you game. You protect Michael, you're gonna win, because JD can go, you can monster reincarnation it back, you could draw into another one. There's a lot of different ways you can win with this deck. It's not hard to overcome losing a JD, as long as you can keep a Michael or another Lightsworn out there to help you progress in getting out another Michael. So that's why I run the double Lightsworn Sanctuary. And then I got the Charge of the Light Brigade. It's semi-limited, or no, not semi-limited, it is limited because it is just that good. Milling out 3 and adding 1 specific monster to your hand that's level 4 or lower, that's too good. That could potentially give you a big play if you end up milling out a Raiden. You could summon a Lumina, and then you could discard 1, pull out the Raiden, and you'll be at Michael in 1 turn potentially. That's why that card's limited. It's too good. Now we got the triple Solar Recharge. You need to run it at 3. It's too good. Discarding a wolf or another one just to get out JD, you can't go wrong with it. And then you get to draw 2 and then mill out 2. That's going to help you out so much with this deck. You have to run this at 3. Then we got the double monster reincarnation. You need to run 2 because the chances are you're going to mill out 1. So, and JD is too important to not have 2 of these in here because you're going to mill out JD and probably one of these. So having the extra one is going to help you get JD on the field, because as soon as you have 4 Lightsworns and you think you can go for game, you put JD out. You don't wait any longer. And then we got the Foolish Burial. That'll help you set up some seriously good plays with Wolf and Minerva. You got a Minerva first turn, you got a Foolish Burial first turn. Summon Minerva, Foolish Burial, pull out the Wolf, send it to the graveyard, special summon it because of its effect, and you got a Michael in your first turn. There's quite a few ways to actually get into Michael first turn. This deck is super good in that way. And then we're down to the traps, and I just do the double breakthrough skill. There are others that you can run though. I just prefer it because you can use it when it's in the graveyard too. But so I use the breakthrough skill, but you can also use the Lightsworn Barrier, the Glorious Illusion, Vanquishing Light, or Beckoning Light. I haven't tried those 4 traps out. I've been using breakthrough skill because it works for how I play. But by all means, don't tell me I'm wrong. Just try swapping them out. I might even try playing Lightsworn Barrier or Beckoning Light at some point in time. I like how my breakthrough skill's been working for me, so it's been doing great. So don't fix what's not broken. And then for the extra deck, because I'm only using cards from the structure deck, we just have the triple Michael. His effect to pay 1,000 and banish is so good. Just so good. There's nothing that can go wrong with that, because that gets over destroying a monster and sending it to the graveyard, because it doesn't even destroy it first, it just banishes it. There's no destroying involved. That gets over plenty of card effects to help you win a duel. This card is really good. You need to get Michael out. He is the MVP of this deck. Yes, Judgment Dragon is great, but he is not protected by Lightsworn Sanctuary or Arcus. That is why you run the Michael, and you need to get him out. JD is great if you go for endgame and you can nuke the field, but until then, get your Michael out there, control the field. That's all you need to do. A Necro Garden on the graveyard, a Lightsworn Sanctuary on the field with counters on it, Michael will not be going anywhere, and your opponent will be sitting there and just be screwed as shit. That's why this card is too good. Way too good. That is my deck profile for my Lightsworns. I'd like to thank you for watching, and please come back for another video.